well, it's half an hour off midday, if I'm honest. Unusually with a sleepover, we all slept until about 11 o'clock this morning. I've had breakfast requests for bacon rolls. However, Baby Bear's had a bit of a cob on because she wanted a ciabatta. I should say she should be just happy that somebody's making her breakfast, let alone bloody moaning about the sort of bread she's getting, eh? I'm looking at my parasol out there, and it's had a bit of it's, what's the word? It's gone limp. I haven't put it down for a couple of days, and I think it needs winding up again, as they do. It's just gone bit like a bit of a wet lettuce leaf. It's it needs me to go and wind it back up again. See, it all looks good until you look underneath. And then you can see, look, it's gone. Which means the whole brolly's like at a funny angle. I think I really should cut that grass. What do you think? Hey, Jack. The downside to waking up late is that it is now too late, probably, to walk the pooches, because it is blistering. I mean, there's hot and then there's hot. This is like being in Turkey. Except in Turkey you have the added benefit of a swimming pool that you can go and douse yourself in. Oh. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble. Oh, pants. I've left the pans in the oven and switched it on. Back in a minute. Two rolls each. You know, two! The bacon roll manufacturing line is now open.
Don't judge my hair in a minute, we were halfway through anymore.
I think it's quite nice one-sided.
Should go up one-sided. No. Not happening. No. It's really good because like she can start it right up here, but then some people start down here, don't they?
Hmm.
That really annoys me. What's special?
You're special?
In many ways.
We knew you were special a long time ago, love. Oh, there's a little moo.
Let's see Mama Moo.
Little moo.
Little moo.
Bottom both go off that. Okay, there. That better?
He wants an extra stranger.
No, he probably won't, but he might if there's Aiken involved.
Moo, Aiken. Moo, what's this? Gently.
I reckon he survives purely on scraps, you know. He very. Oh,
He went down the wrong hole.
you were saying, Ellie?
I said he might not sit next to us. Hello.
Hello. Have you got any Aiken?
Gently Moo.
Thank you so much. I love you forever now. Oh, you're lovely. Oh, you can come again. Oh. Tweeters!
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I've had a message now from her saying, sorry, my son was playing with my phone.
Yeah. I sent it to you. Thank you. One of those. Yeah.
If you hear me talking to myself downstairs, it's just vlog. Right, Bear Fam, I apologise for the quality of the picture, but I'm outside and I came outside away from the girls for a good reason, really. Obviously there's been a lot going. You have to excuse me, I'm going to do my slap while I'm out here. On a few bits of, I can't get a good picture, a few bits of makeup on. Try and make myself look vaguely better. Let's see if the angle, the dangle's better from over here. Oh, I'm useless, aren't I? That's slightly better, isn't it? That's slightly better. Right, listen, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. I'm sorry if I'm not looking to camera, but as I said, I'm going to do my slap at the same time. So you can just be my best friend sitting there watching. There's been a lot of negativity towards a certain young girl. And you may be surprised that I'm sticking up for a certain young girl from a certain family. She doesn't get to choose who she lives with, does she? You may or may not know who I'm talking about, and if you think I'm talking complete nonsense, you can just fast forward. But there's been a lot of nonsense talked about her because she's in therapy. Now, people have therapy. Well, let's wind back to the beginning, shall we? People having a go about it. I thought we'd got past all this with mental health. The fact that people had to be ashamed and hide that they were suffering. I have mental health issues, as you're aware. I've got depression, anxiety, PTSD, fibromyalgia, you name it. Essentially, they're all diseases that stem from brain function going awry, stress. And bizarre for me to be sticking up for that, I appreciate, in circumstances. But the reason it came to me this morning is because Baby Bear has her therapy session today. She's been having it every week for a while. Hers came about after the Teacher Trouble series. If you go back to our vlogs quite a while ago, almost sort of the end of last year, I would think. Oh, just after Christmas, actually, thinking about it. Baby Bear was having some trouble with a teacher who was undoubtedly bullying her. She was throwing her out the class, she was throwing her stuff after her, she was putting her down in front of all her mates, just going beyond what a teacher should do. Now, add to that mix that Baby Bear is really quite a sensitive soul, and it was the first, couple of terms at secondary school. It all started to get to her, and of course she kept telling me, and I kept saying, oh, it's just secondary school, you'll get used to it, things are slightly different. And I have to say, I wasn't really listening to her. Well, I wasn't, you know what I mean when I say not really listening. I was sort of just doing that motherly thing, like get on with it sort of touch. Anyway, it came to a head one day when she friction burned her arm. She was chucked out of the class by this woman again, and she used a ruler to cut a big hole in her arm. Now, a lot of parents probably would have just said, oh, and I left it again, but at that stage I instantly went to my GP with her, and he referred her to CAMHS, Children and Adolescent Mental Health Services. We had an assessment, and then they decided that I should add into the mix that Baby Bear's been having a lot of medical tests about, she gets very dizzy, to the point that she falls over sometimes, she blanks out, and we've had brainwave, we've had MRI, we've had hearing, eyesight, you name it. They physically tested everything on her, and there's nothing physically essentially wrong with her for her to be having the experiences she's having. So it was deemed that it could essentially be much like her mother, you know, anxiety based. Anyway, so that's the other side of it. So CAMHS, we went off to CAMHS, we had the assessment, and then she's been having weekly sessions, one-on-one, with a lady to manage her anxiety. Now, there's no love lost between me and a certain family. That's putting it mildly. But I've been quite horrified to see a few comments on Twitter that I can't respond to at the moment for obvious reasons, with people trying to shame, I don't know if they're trying to shame her or they're trying to shame the parents, I'm not sure which, but either's wrong. On this particular occasion, I think it's wholly the right thing to do if she's got issues, whether they're caused by what they're doing, what he's doing, I don't know what the cause is. I don't even know what her therapy's for. I mean, you know, there are lots of different mental health conditions. But what I wanted to say is, you know, for a long time I've suffered, and I've been in an environment and a job where, I wouldn't say so much now, but when I joined the job in the late 80s, if somebody had a mental health condition, if somebody said I suffered with depression, it meant they were one of them. They were one of our clients. They were one of the people we helped. They were one of the people that tried to commit suicide. They were one of the people that took drugs. They were one of the people that were in a bad place. That's how it felt. It certainly didn't feel, or nobody would have bloody said, I don't think there would have been a cop that would have said, oh, I suffer with depression. I think most of us would have gone and rather broken our leg than said something like that, because it really wasn't acceptable. You know, it was, oh, one of them. So I've lived through an environment where talking about it and it being open just wasn't acceptable. And I thought we'd come out the other side of that. I thought, well, we haven't. I know we haven't in some respects, but if somebody chooses to go and get help, especially early on in life, I think if I'd had the help when I was younger, or the coping strategies, how much better my life might have been. I have had anxiety all my life. I know it now. Now I know what it is and what's caused it. I've had fake appendicitis. I've had scares for various medical conditions. None of it's ever come to anything. Baby Bear's the same. You know, Baby Bear's actually had her appendix out because she was having these horrific pains. They weren't certain whether it was her appendix, so they took it out. After the operation, they told me there was nothing wrong with it. But it's all anxiety, people. Your brain can make your body feel exceptionally unwell. Doesn't mean to say the symptoms are any less real. I mean, the pain from my fibro is testament to that. You know, I ache all over. I've got a fizzing sensation in my joints today. I'm having one of my I don't feel worthy days. Oh no, that's not good. But we should be past the stage where we're vilifying people for getting help. and I don't like seeing some of the comments and some of the intonation in what people have been saying. And people shouldn't have to feel ashamed. You know, people should be actually on the opposite. Stand up and say, do you know what, I'm getting help. And I'm bloody proud that I'm getting help. Sorry if I've stopped talking. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say it's not fair to make somebody feel uncomfortable because they've said they're getting treatment for their mental health. You should be slapping them on the back, giving them a handshake, congratulating them and asking them if there's anything you can do for them, or just giving them a hug. And I guess my message is mental health matters, and being horrible to people, being playground nasty to somebody because they're getting help, it's not acceptable. Whether what's going on is going on and, you know, people feel the way they do, it's not acceptable. Not acceptable, it's not acceptable. Anyway, 10-minute lecture over.
This is me.
Right, Bear Fam, I've just finished editing as best I can. I'm in a bit of a hurry today. I've left it a bit too late. I had too much going on. May I just leave you with one message? And that would be that I suggest you look to buying the red tops tomorrow. I can't tell you why. Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. But I suggest that checking them out might be a good idea. you know, sometimes they break stories, sometimes they've got really juicy bits of gossip, sometimes they, you know, champion causes, sometimes, you know, they are actually worthwhile. So I would say it's a very good idea to keep an eye on the old red tops tomorrow. And that's where I'm going to leave it today. Perhaps I might do a newspaper review tomorrow. You never can tell. Perhaps I should say, in case you haven't heard and you aren't aware, but the Greenwood family, good friends of ours, they also tend to vlog similar sort of things to us because they're a family channel. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. They've also had correspondence that matches mine. If you're missing them or their content. Right, people. Nice to see you. To see you, nice. And I will catch up with you on the morrow. Mwah. Baby Bear can't say goodbye because her and Jessie are at the beach. I was going to join them until I remembered that I hadn't walked the dogs, hadn't edited the vlog, and I haven't finished my statement for the police. So I've come home to do those things, and then I'll go and get them when they've finished. Right, I will catch up with you on the morrow. Loving you, Bear Fam. See you later.